Racing takes place on Tuesday out at Turffontein. We are racing on the inside track, the 26th of September 2023. We've got 8 races on the program. Race number 1 gets underway at 12:30 over the 2,000 meter trip. And I'm joined by Alistair Cohen on the line. And Alistair, how are you doing? How's your weekend?
Yeah, Red Hill was a good weekend, a busy weekend. Fairview on Friday, Hollywoodbets Durbanville on Saturday, which was actually excellent. The weather wasn't great, and obviously a long weekend and rugby going on. I think they put on a great show with the Poiki competition, and looking forward to being back there this Saturday for the Hollywoodbets Match'em Stakes, which is the likely return of Charles Dickens and Gimme a Prince. So really can't wait for that. We set up for a nice week ahead as the big guns start to step out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on Tuesday, it is racing in Johannesburg, and race number 1, Birthright, is your 7-10 favorite. 28-10 about KwaZulu, 7-1 Puerto Plata, In a Blue Moon, 8-1 XL, and then 20-1 about Mr. Spain. The Octagon is scratched. Now, this horse, Birthright, last time out returning off that layoff, but he was all the rage. He found lots of betting support in the market, and he just found 1 too good on the day. He's got a good draw, stepping up in trip to 2,000 meters, but my only concern is that he's returning 10 days later off that comeback run, which was of quite a break.
Yeah, there's 2 ways of looking at that, Raheel, because there's no grass at Fontein, so maybe that last run is treated as a serious grass gallop. Obviously, there was money for him, so, obviously the intentions before the race was that it's not a grass gallop, but I think coming out of that race, that advantage of getting a run under the belt and getting grass under his legs could help number 5 Birthright to no end. But William Rolls sort out of a Windrush mare trying 2,000 metres for the first time. I wouldn't ordinarily take a stab and say that's going to work the oracle. He's going to be a mile and a half horse, but he runs like he will. Although last time he over-raced in the early stages, so that might come back to bite it. But I think there's 2 ways of looking at this, Raheel, and it all points to number 5 Birthright from whichever angle. First of all, Alec Laird and Johan Janssen van Vuren have clearly kept this race alive. The Octagon stable companion to Birthright has been scratched, and I'd anticipate that there'll be a few more scratchings come race time. Number 3, KwaZulu will appreciate the step up in distance, but he's held to the tune of 1 3/4 lengths by number 5 Birthright. So hard to justify number 3 KwaZulu improving past number 5 Birthright with just 300 meters more to work with. So 5-pot banker to start with, and you're not going to get much value in a race that's likely to cut up. So if 5 from 3, I don't see it going any other way. Work around those numbers. If it's going to be boxed exactas or even straight line exacta, then so be it. Set yourself up for the PA, which is my suggested bet.
Yeah, that's horse number 5, Birthright. That's going to be the top selection for Alistair in race number 1. Moving along to race number 2, a maiden plate, 1,450 meters. 1 o'clock is the off time. Just Nuisance is your favorite at 9-2. Weak favorite. It's 5-1 Breath of Magic, Golden Pavilion. 11-2 Festival of Magic. Bob is at 7-1. It's then 10-1 and Better Barlows. Number 4, Tyson the Brave is scratched, so it's a field of 12 that remain. And Alec Laird, well, he's obviously got 2 horses that are right at the top of betting boards. But this horse, Festival of Magic, now, he's got a terrible draw to deal with. But his debut run was actually very, very encouraging, taking on winners.
Yeah, it was, Raheel. I must confess, when I looked at this race the first time, I initially put a big mark next to number, and it was a good mark next to number 2, Just Nuisance, and say, well, he'll win, he'll get out the maidens here. But the more I've looked at this race, the more uneasy I am about it. So just going on to Festival of Magic, and to be fair, that race has had 3 months to work out. But Hotter Ruby has won, Ivy League has won numerous times, Kayama has placed at grade 1 level, and they all finished in front of Festival of Magic. Red Bomber as well, who we'll see later on in the card running in the graduation plate. So, the form of number 10 Festival of Magic is evidently strong, but A, how badly will he need it? B, Francie Herald takes the ride, which catches me by surprise. Francie rides a lot of work for Michael de Kock, so it's probably quite obvious that Francie's done a lot of work on this horse, and hence he's got the ride. But then the draw's no good. The draw's such an inconvenience. So Festival of Magic is the absolute unknown in the race, known in that the form is strong, but unknown into the dynamics at play here. So 2 2 and 8 are the numbers for me. I heard a word about number 8, Bob, for the Glistian guys. They obviously had their first winner at Fairview on Friday with the North Triumph for Zietsman Oosthuizen. 8 Bob is related to a few well-performed horses, Devils and Dust and Blizzard. They've won multiple times. Debut over 1,450 metres from a yard, who knows how to get them ready first time out. And then, like I said, number 2, Just Nuisance. I like the last run to King's Ransom. The second horse, O'Connell, is a winner in waiting. The fourth horse, Ryan's Boulevard, I think will win soon as well. We saw Halberdier get absolutely smashed out of that form. Get well beaten by King's Ransom and come out and push Barbaresco until the final 100 metres just over a week ago. So it's a very, very complex race. It's a tricky race. I'm uneasy that I've got 2 horses in my play. They are 2 and 8. You can make a case for a lot of these. 3 Breath of Magic's in there, 5 Golden Pavilions in there. I don't suspect there'll be any support for number 7, Blackberry Breeze, being a horse who needs double this distance, but he bears watching because he could be running on for Mana Money. Kalida improved last time, but I don't know if that form's all that strong. And then obviously number 10, Festival of Magic. But I'm not settled with 2 and 8, but I've linked in 2 and 8 in the first leg of the PA.
A very, very competitive contest, 2 and 8 for Alistair there, but as you heard from him, there's probably a few others that you could include. Race number 3, a maiden plate over 1,000 meters, 13:35 the off time. This will be the start of the pick 6, and your favorite is number 4, Presley. Even money, 18-10 about Emperor's Game, 4-1. Griffin Park, it's in 14-1, and better bar those. Now, Presley obviously ran a very nice race on debut behind Chocolate Bomb. That form has worked out quite nicely with Chocolate Bomb winning again, and I think it was Daring Act winning from that form line as well. And he's a horse that could obviously take a step in the right direction. And then Fani Broncos has this filly Empress Game that has her second run for him, and she's obviously a horse that came to the course with a reputation, beaten favourite in the first 3 starts. She could certainly go well.
Yeah, Raheel, I've gone 2 and 4. It's amazing how everyone's gone off Griffin Park, because last time I was at the Val, everybody liked Griffin Park. They obviously looked into that run to Tail of the Comet, who is clearly feature race material, and obviously thought coming back to the half odds against, to be fair, Eiffel Tower, who might be okay, that Griffin Park was a matter of just turning up. He was punted from 5-2 to 15-10. I hope no one's got sour with him, because the price of 4-1 appeals to me to a level. I've gone 2 and 4 in the place accumulated, with Presley as my top choice. Gavin Larena now takes over. You mentioned the form. It's worked out very well. Chocolate Bomb, a subsequent winner. Daring Act, the second, also subsequent winner as well. There's every reason for number 4, Presley, to follow up. I know the connections were pleased with that run. There was another horse from the yard whose name escapes me. It's a half-brother to that horse, Smoking Hot, so I'm watching that closely. The name just doesn't come to mind at the moment. So all in all, I think the Chocolate Bomb form is probably a little bit, is even stronger than what it looks, and will work out to have a lot of substance to it as time goes on. But I'm not going to let number 2 Griffin Park run loose, only because of all the talk last time. First run was fair to Tail of the Comet, could only step up, probably didn't step up as much as expected, dropping back to 1,000 metres for a horse who has pace. Just not going to let him run loose, number 2 Griffin Park, and I suggest that punters don't either.
Yeah, 4-1 the price about number 2 Griffin Park, and punters, I'm sure they'll be looking to get their cash back with this individual after he got beat last time out. So 2 and 4 for Alistair in race number 3. Moving along to race number 4, merit rated 75 handicap over 1,000 meters. Favorite here is Siberian Steel at 16-10. It's 33-10 about Pendragon. Tayuba at 4-1, along with Happy and Nelia. It's in double figure odds about the balance. You can scratch number 8 in the ether. That means that it's a field of just 10 runners that will line up for this contest. And Alistair, you agree with the market, Siberian Steel at the top?
I've been waiting for a horse here a long time. Just tread carefully here, Raheel, because these races that are for apprentices and young jockeys, I think I made the point last time, I might have been on course, might have been on the show, that if Luke Ferraris wasn't in Hong Kong, he'd be riding in this race. So I'm not a fan of these, but I understand why they're there, because they're just a paucity of apprentices. They need their chances to ride out their claims, etc. But I mean, they're taking on Peter Sunday Quali, who's currently lying 6th on the national log, and Caden Brewer, who's obviously one of the leading apprentices, and Rachel Venica, a 2-time, well, she's still an apprentice, but you know what I'm getting at, a 2-time champion apprentice. So there's a few uneasy dynamics at play here. But the horse I've been waiting for, 1,000 meters on the inside track with a draw, number 3, Pendragon. Love this horse on Tuesday. Trent Mayhew takes the valuable 4 kilos off the back. Even away from the Turffontein inside course, he's been running nice races to the likes of Little Miss Moneybags and COVID Operator. COVID Operator came out and framed his own form again by carrying even bigger weight. So I think this horse is set up to run a huge race. His record on the inside track reads 8 starts, 3 wins in a few places. He is best on the inside track, and I'm gonna suggest a nice each way play, but there's no way I can banker him. One Siberian Steel deserves all the respect in the world. Shouldn't be much between them on the 7th of September run, because COVID Operator was half a length in front of Siberian Steel, so there was 1 length between them. By virtue of Trent Mayhew's 4 kilo claim, Pendragon should finish in front of Siberian Steel, but that's not necessarily going to be gospel. And then number 2, Tayuba, last run was flat, but return not striding out. I'm of the opinion that the races came a little bit too quickly, so laid off now for 2 months, and I think number 2, Tayuba, will come out fresh and run a better race. So 1, 2, and 3 for me. I must be honest, scratching number 8 in the ether makes it a little bit more straightforward in my eyes.
Yeah, those are the top 3 in the market, 1, 2, and 3, and you heard from Alistair. Number 3, Pendragon, that is his top selection with the 4 kgs off the back. Moving along to race number 5, graduation plate over 1200 meters, and quite a nice race. I am Giant 16 to 10, Unzen 3 to 1, Red Bomber at 33 to 10, along with Mount Pilatus. It's in double figure odds about the balance. Now, as much as Unzen is the best weighted horse on a 108, he's 10 points clear of I Am Giant. He hasn't earned his rating over this distance, and therefore I'm leaning towards this horse I Am Giant. He's a 2-time winner. His last win very impressive, beating Captain Dizzy. We know that Captain Dizzy is quite a nice horse ever since joining the Barron Bottas yard, and although he's got to give away 2 kgs and 5 kgs to improving 3-year-olds, I think he could be good enough to get the job done here.
Look, I think in the place accumulates, you can bank it one or the other. I'll bank number 1, Unzen, but I've got all the time in the world for number 2, I Am Giant. I'll tell you what just puts me off I Am Giant is the fact that he's so lightly raced. He comes out, runs well, goes back into cotton wool. I don't think he's the most straightforward. I spoke to Kabelo Matsunyani at the airport on Saturday when leaving Cape Town. He fancies I Am Giant. James Crawford, I know, fancies I Am Giant, but he'd fancy I Am Giant if he was running the computer form sprint tomorrow, so maybe take that with a pinch of salt. But number 1, Unzen, go watch that last run again. That was a brilliant effort after half the year off, finishing 4th to Ready to Charge. I hear what you say about not earning this rating over this distance. That was over 1,000 meters in a graduation plate, and please believe me, he was staying on so strongly behind Ready to Charge. I know he's got to give weight to horses like Red Bomber, Mount Pilatus, Bomb, horses who are progressive, but Unzen's got a reasonable amount of ability to him. He's beaten the likes of Raffles. You know, he's been to places where these horses need to go, Red Bomber, Mount Pilatus, and Bomb. And he's not been disgraced in races like the World Sportsman in Gauteng. He's finishing midfield, probably not quite that level, but he's not miles behind. So I'm going number 1, Unzen. Bank him in my place accumulator. He is my top choice, but I'm literally 51% Unzen, 49% I Am Giant. For me, it could go either way.
Off these 3-year-olds, Alistair, would you have a preference for Red Bomber?
No, I'd have a preference for Mount Pilatus, Rio. I'll tell you why. I think Red Bomber, even though he won over 1160 on debut and that form line strong, he strikes me as a horse that when he goes 2,000 meters, he'll be even better. Yeah, the same could be argued with Mount Pilatus, but that Outlaw King run is looking really, really strong from Hollywoodbets Greyville. And Bomb's last run was actually a very, very good effort. He stayed on strongly over the long distance. This will be better. He should actually get into the first 4, number 7, Bomb.
Yeah, he could be a nice spring in the pack at around 20 to 1 to boost those quartets, number 7, Bomb. So don't leave him out of your bets. But number 1, Unzen, that's going to be the top choice for Alistair in race number 5. Moving along to race number 6, a Pinnacle Stakes over 1200 meters, and it's actually quite a nice race with some nice horses stepping out on a Tuesday, a midweek meeting. You don't see this too often. MK's Pride in this contest. We've got Litigation. We've got the likes of Bon Vivant, and you've got a couple others here. But Captain Hindsight, 17 to 10 favorite. He's obviously a horse that's in the form of his life. He's got a good draw. It's 5 to 1 MK's Pride, 5 to 1 Bard of Avon, 7 to 1 and Better Bar. Those now, as much as Captain Hindsight is thriving at the moment, Alistair, he's banging form. This is quite a step up in class for him, and I like this horse, Bard of Avon. He's got 50.5 kgs on the back. Last time out, he was terribly inconvenienced by the worst of the draws. there still was support around him. He has his peak run now, and he's got a slightly better draw to deal with. And I can see Muzieni using the source up from that draw to get him into a good position, if not leading. And I think he could go all the way.
Same hymn sheet, exactly the same WhatsApp group here, you and me, Raheel. I like number 9, Border of Avon, to a fairly strong level. You're right with the lightweight. I think his 2-year-old career was well documented. It was a very good 2-year-old career, and Roy Magnus drawn a bit of life out of the son of VAR. It was a bit stiff last time from the deepest draw. That was a day that controversially Muzieni chose Bard of Avon over Quantum Theory. He was wrong there, but Muzi doesn't make too many mistakes twice, and I think he's going to try and prove a point here on number 9, Bard of Avon. Big runner for me, my top choice. For Captain Hindsight just cannot be ignored. Life's getting harder for him, but he's acquitting himself better and better every time. I think if you're told the shams, the connections, that this horse will be rated 106 in the space of less than 3 months from an 82, they would never, ever, ever have believed you. So it just goes to show how this horse has stepped up time and time again. He's gutsy, he fights for his wins. The handicapper hasn't messed around with him, giving him £6 for his last 2 wins, for his narrow wins, for his hard-fought wins. One of these days the handicapper is going to catch up, but while he's running like that, he's impossible to ignore.
Yeah, that's number 4, Captain Hindsight. But both Alistair and myself, we on horse number 9 here, Bard of Avon at around 5-1 in the market. Moving along to race number 7, made rated 82 handicap over 1450 meters. Favorite is horse number 1, Funky Music at 2-1. Mojive 7-2, Cotinos at 9-2, 5-1 about Rattlebag at 6-1, and Better Bar. There's something about this race that I don't quite like, because I think there's a lot of horses in with chances here, and obviously Funky Music is in terrific form. Rattlebag, another horse that's in some good form, but we've got the likes of Rain or Shine that comes in with a nice lightweight. Cotinos on his day, we know he's very, very capable. There was a lot of support around Mojive last time out, and you fancied his chances a bit. So I think it's a race that is a lot more tougher than what the market suggests.
I agree. It's not an easy race. There's a former bet for Funky Music. He ran at the Vol on Thursday, finished 7th, 4 lengths behind Water Honey. That was in a race much stronger than what he takes on today. And he's got every chance. I've got 3 horses in my place accumulated, and I'm just hoping to survive. They are 1, 3, and 6 Funky Music, who, bar that last run, has been in very good form. The handicapper might have caught up with him, but he's worth another chance, especially going to Turffontein. Number 3, Mojive, I also agree, worth another chance. I liked him last time out, thought he'd run better. He faded out of it. Maybe the tight turning inside course, well, he's back on the inside course, so maybe that's not much of a motivation, but he's definitely worth another go, number 3, Mojive. Because after chatting to Fani Bronkhorst about him, he was convinced that he wasn't far away from getting something out of him, and his run to Dave the King on the 18th of April, when receiving 3 kilos, means he raced far above his rating. I hope he's not a bit of a tea leaf though. And then number 6, Rain or Shine. That's win or bust for number 6, Rain or Shine. He ain't going to run a nice race in 2nd and 3rd. He's either going to win and look the part or go completely missing. I hope that he's going to run well and look the part here and run a big race, number 6, Rain or Shine. So 1, 3 and 6 for me. Tricky race. You can even make a good case for number 8, Caretaker. I think that he's a player as well. Put him into your pick 6.
Caretaker at around 14-1 in the market. Keep an eye on him with a 1.5 off the back. Moving along to race number 8, the final race on the day. A middle stakes to close off proceedings. 2,800 meters the distance. 4:30 the off time. Important scratching. Number 2, Battleground is out. Breeze Over, American Grayson, both at 2-1. Rulebook 7-1. Coromandel 10-1, and then it's 12-1. And Better Bar. Now this Battleground form line is seen to the fore in a big way here. And Breeze Over, American Grayson, I thought they both ran very, very big races last time out. Breeze Over, obviously the horse that challenged Battleground all the way to the line, and he comes in nicely weighted in this contest. And as much as he's probably the one to beat, I think I just feel Rulebook is going to run a big race, even though he's not the most well weighted in this event. If we have a look at the form, the weight turnarounds on their last start, but I think with a good draw, having his 4th run after layoff, he could just run a nice race here.
Rulebook. Do you know how many times people have told me about Rulebook? Sure. He's going to pop up one of these days. There are too many clever people who always like number 7 rule book, but I've banking number 4, Breeze Over. You talk about the weights, they obviously, they suit him. He's down 4 kilos, American Racing's down 3. There was half a length in it in favour of Breeze Over. Go watch it again. I thought Breeze Over was taken out at a crucial stage as well. At the top of the straight, there was a bit of argy-bargy that probably compromised Breeze Over's momentum. The scratching number 2, Battleground, pleases me to a selfish extent because I think we can bank one or the other 4 or 5. But just watching American Grayson right here, he looks like a horse that on the more galloping track, on Turffontein stand-side track, or the VAR, or Hollywoodbets Scottsville, something like that, he could be really effective. He just doesn't quite turn it on in time. He got horribly lost at the top of the straight. He was all legs and only put it together right at the end. If this race was a 2,800 metre race like advertised, then number 5, American Grayson, has an extra 200 metres to warm up. It's back to a 2,600. So I think Breeze Over might get reward for consistency. I'm surprised he's a one-time winner. That is a slight alarm bell, but all in all, more points to number 4, Breeze Over, than anyone else in the race.
Yeah, Breeze Over, super consistent sort. He's around 6 seconds in his career, and he'll be looking to maybe change one of those and get that second career victory. So that's going to be the top choice here for Alistair in race number 8. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now. Alistair has got a place accumulator lined up for us on Tuesday. So Alistair, take it away with that PA.
Yep, so the PA begins in race 2 at 1 o'clock, so don't miss out. 2 and 8 in the first leg, Just Nuisance and Bob. A race that I'm a bit uneasy about. By 2 and 4, Griffin Park and Presley. By 1, 2 and 3, Siberian Steel, Tayuba and Pendragon. Pendragon being one of my nice plays on the day. By banker 1, Unzen, but you could banker 1 or 2. I can't see either of them missing the PA. By 4 and 9, so Captain Hindsight and Bardaveven. Bardaveven, my second money maker on the day, I'm hoping. By 1, 3 and 6, Funky Music, Mo Jive and Rain or Shine. A banker 4, Breeze Over at the back.
That's Alistair's place accumulator, and hopefully you manage to double up and treble up in those legs. Alistair, thanks very much for your time, and all the best with racing on Tuesday outside Turffontein.
Cheers, Raheel. Looking forward to it. We'll catch up again soon, but it should be a great week. Looking forward to everything.
Yeah, all the best, guys, on Tuesday out at Turffontein. Hopefully, it's a profitable one.